Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is the first video I am posting, and the reason I am posting this is because I understand the struggle of journaling. So I wanted to make it a little easier for traders alike. Before I begin, I know there are paid options out there for trade journaling, but honestly, I think that journaling manually has helped me tremendously as it forces me to stare at my trading errors in the face as I journal. For example, when I overtrade, I'm forced to journal all 8 trades I took within 10 minutes, which is not very fun because you realize how you let the emotions get the best of you. In this video, I will provide 2 different journal templates and they can be altered however you like. This is what I use and everyone is different, so feel free to change things up in the journal templates. And also, if this was helpful to you, then any likes and subscriptions would be appreciated as well. Anyways, let's get right into it. The first step we're going to take is to get Notion. So we're going to just type Notion in your browser, search it up. I am not a robot. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to Notion. I don't know if there's a difference between these two, but I usually just go to the second one. And there are going to be 2 different options. From here, you can either go to the top left and download it, which is what I do personally for fluidity's sake, or we can just use the web browser. And I'm going to be using the web browser for this example just for convenience sake. So just log in. Okay, so step 2 is to get the templates. I already have Notion installed, but once you complete the installation, you will have something that looks similar to this. Now that we have Notion installed, go to the description down below and you can click the URLs attached. I will have the description for both of them. We have the trades journal template and we also have the daily journal and weekly recap template. Because I haven't created the video yet, I don't have a description to go look at, but I'll just paste the links here, but these will be in the description. So first will be our trades journal template. So you just click on it. Then once you're here, at the top right, you can click duplicate. Once it has duplicated, it will take you to this template. And the first change we're going to make to this template is just changing the name of it to whichever, I guess whatever you want to really name it. And I just named it Index Futures 2023 Trades Journal. Very simple. And then here in this tab, you can right click it and then rename it as well. In this case, I'll just name it Index Futures 2023. So this page here is actually just a table view, kind of like an overview of all of your trades. And over here, you might have noticed that we have a calendar view as well. And I'll show you guys why this view is very useful after I kind of make an example trade for you guys. So how I like to use this template is I'll just click new to create a new trade, and then I'll hover over trade notes and open it. And here I've saved a default template for you guys. This is the template I use personally, but if you want to edit it at any time, you can just click on these 3 dots and edit. When you're in here, you can just edit anything to your liking and then just click back and it should be saved. When you are happy with your template, you can just click on statistics and review or whatever you name it. I named it statistics and review. And here you'll have all of these criteria, which is on the overview page. And then you also have all of these tables and questions that I've put into the template itself. So for this example, I will be taking a trade I took on September 1st, just to make everything a little easier and so that I don't have to go hunt for a trade and input it for you guys. This way I can just kind of copy paste it over and show you guys how I like to do it. So this trade was done on Friday, opened at 10:10, and then it was closed on the same day at 11:48. The ticker was micro ES1, exclamation mark. And then from here, it's pretty straightforward. You just put your entry price. You want to put your exit price. I have 2 take profit points, so here I just kind of put 13 contracts at this price and 3 contracts at that price. And then you have your net profit and loss. And then you also have total contracts traded, profit target price. And this is what I meant by taking partials and stuff. So 80% at that price and then full closure at another price. Stop loss at this price. And then my initial take profit. This is the take profit amount. So that's how much I'm aiming to earn from this trade. And then the risk I was willing to put on was 480. Normally I do $500, but because of the contracts, it has to be whole numbers. So I went for 480 so I don't surpass that 0.5% risk per trade for my trading plan. And then that was the planned R multiple, realized R multiple. And then you just add the screenshots of your trade here. So I like to just screenshot my daily, and then I like to add my hourly. Organize it a little better, higher time frame to lower time frame. I'll just delete this usually. And then my 5-minute where I executed on. So that now when you open this trade, you can see all the details in here. You can see the screenshots and why you took the trade, right? And then for here, it's just kind of psychology, training your emotions and kind of analyzing like why you did what you did. So why did I decide to enter this trade? All of these reasons, you guys can read it if you want. Why did I decide to exit where I did? How did I feel entering the trade? How did I feel during the trade? How did I feel exiting my trade? What was my position size and why? Did I follow my trading plan going into this trade? And are there any improvements I can make for the next trade? So here you would just answer all these questions and kind of mental note, and obviously you have this note to refer back to, but it's just kind of journaling just helps you find these recurring patterns in your trading, right? So for example, I have a tendency to overtrade, right? As I was saying at the start of the video, and that's how I kind of began to overcome it, is because I was journaling and I had to do this process for 8 trades within 10 minutes, which was extremely tedious and I did not want to do that anymore. Once you finish inputting everything for your trade journal, you just want to scroll to the top and then input all of this criteria for your trade. So I'm just going to input the tags. This one was the 2R win, 4 standard deviation win. Here I like to put the date because it shows up there. So September 1st, include the time. I like that. Just so then you know when you entered this trade. So for example, you had multiple trades, then it'll tell you exactly which time you entered the trade. Entry model, you can always change these by clicking these 3 dots here. Framework, instrument, in my case it would be the MES. Then your market side, I shorted the market there. Mistakes, I didn't make any mistakes on this particular trade, so I wouldn't put anything there. My profit was 1563.43. My RR was 3.26. Status was a win. Trade duration, I put trade duration in terms of minutes. So this trade took an hour 38 minutes, so that would be 98 minutes. And trade rating, I would give it a 5 out of 5 because this was a A+ setup in my books. So now that you guys know how to really input a trade, this is what the overview really looks like. And here, calendar view, this is why I really like it. It's because statistics and reviews, it'll give you the name of your trade note, and then it'll show your profit. That's how I set it up. It shows your profit, shows the status of your trade, shows the trade rating, and it shows the mistakes as well. So the reason why I've done that is because if you have a mistake, for example, then it'll show you mistakes, and over time you can really see which mistakes you're making a lot. Okay, so that's pretty much the trades journal template. Now we're gonna move on to the daily journal and weekly recap. Pretty much the same process here. You just want to go back to the links in the description and find daily journal and weekly recap template. Click on that and then just let it load. Once it loads, in the top right you'll see duplicate once again, and you just click that and it'll automatically duplicate it to your Notion account. Here you will also find a calendar view and a table view. When recording my daily journal and weekly recaps, I like to keep it on the calendar view just so I know what day it is right away and how consistent I've been with my journaling. Once again, the first thing we will do is change the name of the template, and in this example, I'm going to change it to Index Features, Daily Journal, and Weekly Recaps. When journaling, I like to section my journaling into 4 parts. So I have the separate journal for the trades journal, and then in this daily journal and weekly recaps, I will have 3 separate journals, being my pre-market research, my after-market analysis, and my weekly recaps. So let me just show you a typical day of how I like to go about my journaling. Once again, I'm just going to be copy pasting a journal from a previous day I've done already, just so that it's easier and we can get through this a little faster. So first I want to make sure I'm at the day that I want to mark. Be September 23, let's say Friday. So let's do the pre-market research first. I usually do this anytime before 9:30 a.m. as that is when equities open, so I could plan out my expectations for the day. So here I have 3 templates: pre-market research, after-market analysis, and weekly recap. Once again, you can click on these 3 dots to edit this template. And I'm just going to open my pre-market research. Once we have the template loaded, I like to do the criteria first, which is these 4 sections right here: asset class, date, journal type, and news. So journal type is already preloaded, and also the date is preloaded depending on where you created this journal. Asset class, I primarily trade index futures, and you can always customize this to your liking, so I'll just put index futures here. News, I will always go to Forex Factory first to find the news, so then I can enter it here where I have listed out all my high impact news that I'm interested in. So I'm just going to delete all of this really quick and copy paste my journal. So the first step I would have been taking is going to Forex Factory and then screenshotting the news for Friday and then inputting it here. So we have Empire State Manufacturing Index and prelim consumer sentiment. So just put that there, and also prelim consumer sentiment. And I'll just scroll through this really fast to show you guys what I like to do. I am a ICT concept trader, so everything here is catered towards myself, but once again, everything is customizable to however you like. So I would put my news drivers in first, my seasonal tendency, And then I'd start doing my forecasting. And when it comes to my main time frames, I like to just put in some expectations for the day. Moving on, I would do my after analysis next, and usually I like to do this between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m., being the reason that the index futures market closes between this time, and that would allow my higher time frame to stay in alignment as I'm journaling. So I'm just going to create a new item here for aftermarket analysis, and then click on aftermarket analysis in my templates. And once again, same process. I would fill out my asset class, index futures. My journal type and date is already there. And then news, I would fill in the same news. So in this case, it would be Empire State Manufacturing Index and also prelim UOM's consumer sentiment. The reason why I have this news here is so that later down the road, if I wanted to study certain news events, then I would be able to just filter that out and study specific events I wanted to look at. So once again, I'm just going to delete all of this. I'll paste my journal, and you guys can look through it if you'd like. So I'll have how the day played out, and then price action study, and also a daily recap. The final thing that I do during my week is the weekly recap, and generally I like to do these on Saturday or anytime after the market closes on Friday, just so then I give myself a good time window to do it whenever I need to. So I would just create a new item on a Saturday and then click my weekly recap template. Once again, fill out this criteria, asset class. And for the news, once again, I will go to Forex Factory, screenshot it, and then just paste it here first. And then I'll look through this list and input it through the news criteria. So this week we had for CPI, we had CPI month over month, CPI year over year, and we had core PPI month over month and PPI month over month. We had core retail sales, we had retail sales, we had unemployment claims, Empire State Manufacturing Index, and prelim UOM consumer sentiment. So this is all the news events that happened this week that I can refer back to through filters in the future if I ever want to review weekly price action. So I'll just scroll through this really quick again. So I have my weekly news events, how the week played out. I like to mark up my chart like this, where I have previous day high, previous day low, and the true day open in terms of ICT concepts, which is the midnight open. And then I also have red folder events that I'm interested in looking at, just so I can see how the news is affecting price. Moving on, we have the price action study. And then we have what are next week's news events. So I'll screenshot the week afterwards. And then also expectations for next week. Now that we've completed all of the journaling that I like to do, I can show you the table view as well. And this is what it looks like. And the reason why I really like this table view and why I decided to implement it instead of just having the calendar view is because when you filter, for example, if I want to filter, say, journal type, I only want to see pre-market researches. So it would only show that. And then, for example, I want to show pre-market and aftermarket, then it would show both of them as well. As for the news events, you can add filter here, news, and then choose what news you want to study. For example, I want to study CPI news because I know it has high impact on price, right? Or I want to study holidays. How do holiday days trade? How do no high impact news days trade? So that's pretty much the gist of why I like to organize my journal like this. So that pretty much wraps up what I had in mind for this video, and I hope it helps a lot of student traders. If you'd like more content like this, feel free to comment it down below and suggest any ideas if you have any. Potentially I could make more Notion templates for you guys, or show you guys how I organized other things in my life. Yeah, I'm also planning to create a full playlist on how I like to approach the market and my model on how I trade. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. But until next time, see you guys and thanks for watching.